Good afternoon and welcome to my reading chair. I'm a big fan of personal development, reading as much as you can, but usually when I sit and read, I often fall asleep. So I will get suggestions of what to read from the people that I listen to or conversations that I'm having. And Charlie Tremendous Jones said that we will be who we are in 5 years based on the people that we know and spend the most time with, and the books that we read. So with that in mind, earlier today, a suggestion was made of a man who owns a very large service company, and he runs his company on some books that were written by an author, Gino Wickman, that I had never heard of before. And so I looked him up and I found a book, and it's called EOS, and it's Living the Ideal Entrepreneurial Life. And I just wanted to give you a quick book review on it. I listened to it on audiobooks, actually on Hoopla, which you can get on your phone or on your computer. All you need is the library card. It's the Hoopla app. You can download it, take it with you anywhere. And that way when you're walking or working out or driving in a car, then you can listen to a book and feed your mind. Like Zig Ziglar told us, that we are able to use our car as a university on wheels. And many of us work from home, but in that case, I suggest getting out, going for a walk, and getting away from the computer, and then that gives you time to listen to a book while you're doing other stuff. If you're driving in a car, do the same thing. So basically, he was talking about making sure that you're doing the right thing. And so there were several questions. So the bottom premise is that you want to make sure that you are doing what you love, doing it with people that you love, having an impact on the world, and being fairly compensated for it, and enjoying passions and living your ideal life. So after he discussed that, you can think of those several points as criteria of just having a great, well-balanced, fulfilled life. And then after or before each of them, the question is 1 to 10, how close are you to each of those? Doing what you love, working and spending your time with people that you love, having an impact, being fairly compensated, and enjoying your passions and living your ideal life. The next is, what would 100% look like if you were to get there? If you're not living it, why not? And what would it take to get there in each of those categories? And then what one thing can you do in the next 7 days to start moving you closer to any one of those that I've mentioned twice now, okay? At the end of each chapter, then he gave several questions and again asked, how close are you to, again, doing what you love, living, working with people you love? Why aren't you there yet? What's holding you back? What obstacles are in the way? What would it take to get there? And what can you do to get closer to it? And for example, what can you do to add more value if you're looking to be more compensated? Or what can you do to delegate? And again, what one thing in the next 7 days? And so just a fantastic book, and I highly recommend reading it. It's called EOS, Living the Ideal Entrepreneurial Life. He closes with 10 disciplines for maximizing your energy. And I also thought these were great. So I'll go through them quickly. And the first is 10-year thinking. Instead of just letting life go by and going with the winds of change, what have you, having specific goals. And tomorrow is my birthday. And so he said, think of where you'll be 10 years from now. And I said, oh, I'll be 10 years older. And so what goal? How do I see myself? What do I want to be? So that all of this is very thought-provoking, and I really enjoyed the whole thing. Number 2, take time off. Absolutely. We can't just work all the time. That's not going to create proper balance. The next one, know thyself. And another person that I'm doing a lot of study with, Tai Lopez, talks a lot about that. It was Socrates that told us to know ourselves. And unless we know what we really want to be and are designed based on experience and our passion to be doing, then we may be going in the wrong direction. And I forget who it was that talked about, what if you put the ladder and got to the top and then realized it was on the wrong building? So knowing yourself, very important. Number 4 was be still. Take time out to relax, whether you call it prayer, meditation, whatever, but just take time. And ideally, first thing in the morning, collecting your thoughts, getting ready for the day. Fantastic. Know your 100%. Like, when are you maxed out at work? When have you put all that you can into it? There's not really anything more to do. You'll just be spinning your wheel, wasting your time. All we can do is 100%. I know that we talk about in the rah-rah types of podcasts and whatever, oh, I give 150%. Okay, realistically, if you can give 150%, that is your 100%. So that's all we can do is all we can do. Number 6 is say no often. And for that, I'm going to use a quote that I got from Jim Rohn. He said, and I think he borrowed this from somebody. In fact, there's probably nothing new over 6,000 years, right? It's all regurgitated, but good stuff is good stuff, and it all needs to get out there. So maybe it's the first time you're ever hearing it from me. Rock and roll. But I didn't make any of this stuff up. Say no often. So what Jim Rohn said he had heard was, don't let your mouth overload your back. And he also went on to say, for example, if you're invited to do different things, you might say, I don't think I can make it, but I'll let you know, instead of committing to something and then having to backtrack and not being able to do it later. So there you go. Say no often. The next one, don't do $25 an hour work if you're trying to make 6 figures. And I thought, that's fantastic. Unless it gives you true joy or passion, if you're out there mowing your lawn when you can hire somebody to do it, well, you're probably not. How much are you worth per hour, right? So if you can earn a couple $100 per hour and you're doing something that's worth less than that, unless it absolutely adds to your pleasure in life, because there's an expense, there's an opportunity cost in doing something that is worth less than you can actually bring in. So there you go. The next, number 8, is to prepare every night. Everybody will talk about that. If you get into personal development and planning and goal setting, simply writing down the night before what it is that you're going to do, especially like the 6 most important things that you're going to do the following day. When you write that down, it will have your subconscious working on it. So you'll be better prepared the next day when you get into it. And as opposed to waking up and jumping on emails and letting other things control your life. So I really enjoyed that. Number 9, putting everything in one place. Hey, have a notebook with you all the time. I've been in sales for 25 years, right? And always writing things down. Jim Rohn again said, don't trust your memory. Write things down. And that way you have more ability to take it in. So put everything in one place. It could be on an iPad, it could be on a notebook, but rather than a little bit of scraps and paper or just trying to keep it all in your mind, because inevitably things will escape you. And the last one is be humble. No matter how good we are, we can always be better. Certainly we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people, but only to ourselves over time, and hopefully be able to answer the question that, are we better than we were before? What are we doing to improve? How could we be improving? Asking those questions. And humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. And I like that as a distinction. Bottom line here is we're all on this planet, I believe, to give and to contribute, not just to take. The more that you give, the more that you receive. That's all true. So by increasing our value and going out there and contributing and giving away and helping other people wherever we can, the world is just a better place. And that all begins with humility. So there is my book review on EOS by Gino Wickman. He's an author of several books, and I am going to seek out some other ones because I just thought that was fantastic. And so I hope you'll check that out. Let me know what you think about that book, as well as just the topic of some quick book summaries. And I look forward to catching up with you on the next video. Thank you. And please check back the last couple days videos where I gave some great fun recipes. Have fun. Take care.